वादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणम्. So today is Panihati Chidadadhi Mahotsav, the festival of chipped rice and yogurt, which was celebrated in the place called Panihati about almost 500 years ago. I remember my first time I participated in this festival, which was in ISKCON Bangalore temple. And those days, I had still not joined the temple. I was working outside. I was working in a company in Bangalore. So there was one devotee who told me, it happened to be a Friday. Today, the festival is on a Saturday. So I remember that time it was on a Friday, I think Thursday or Friday. So from the temple, they had planned that we will go to Srirangapatna. And there on the banks of the Kaveri, we will observe the festival. So first time I was going, I had no idea. So I applied for leave in the company, and then early morning, I think around 6:37, like that, there were a group of several buses which started from the Bangalore temple and proceeded towards Srirangapatna. I think it took about 1 hour. And then we went there. We had, wonderful kirtan, like all of you were participating in the kirtan right now. We had a wonderful kirtan. And then they distributed Chidadadhi prasadam, the chipped rice mixed with mango pulp and yogurt and all that. First time in my life I was tasting something like this. I was completely blown away. I couldn't even dream some dish like this can be prepared. So don't worry, all of you also will get to taste the Chidadadhi soon. So the speciality of this festival is the Chidadadhi. So this whole festival, where one of the 6 Goswamis, Raghunath Das Goswami, he wanted to dedicate his life to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. He wanted to give up his family life and go, and he was in West Bengal. He was in Navadvip area. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already taken sannyas. Raghunath Das Goswami from his childhood had known Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas and went away to Jagannath Puri, Raghunath Das Goswami also wanted to follow him. So many times he attempted to run away from home and go to Jagannath Puri, but every time his father would send some servants to catch him and bring him back. So after many unsuccessful attempts, finally what happened, in a place close to Navadvip, by a village by the name Panihati, on the banks of the Ganges, Raghunath Das Goswami heard that Nityananda Prabhu had come there with his group of devotees, and they were doing kirtan there. So he went and met them. So when he went and met Nityananda Prabhu ordered Raghunath Das Goswami to organize a feast for all the devotees. Raghunath Das Goswami was from a rich mercantile family. Those days, 500 years ago, their annual family income was something like 12 lakh gold coins. That was you can imagine 12 lakh gold coins means what kind of opulence they must have been having. Raghunath Das Goswami's father and uncle were all big zamindars, so they had a lot of money. So for him to organize a feast was not at all an issue. So immediately he called whatever village people were there, they were all selling. Somebody was selling bananas, somebody was selling mangoes. Now is the mango season, right? Somebody was selling mangoes, and somebody was selling a little chipped rice, and somebody was selling a little curd. So he called all of them, paid money, and bought everything. And they mixed all of it and made a preparation, which is called the Chidadadhi preparation. And that was offered to Nityananda Prabhu. And that prasadam of Nityananda Prabhu was distributed to everyone, including the vendors who had sold it. So it became a big festival. And so in villages, the news spreads very fast. So all the people of the village came, hearing that there is this big festival going on, there is a big feast. And immediately the news spread to surrounding other villages also. So the vendors who were selling chida and dahi and mangoes and bananas and other villages, they heard there is a festival like this and all the produce is getting sold. So they also came running there to sell whatever they had. And Raghunath Das bought all of that also. And he started feeding them also. So like this, the entire area became filled with a huge number of people, so much so that there was no space. And people started going into the Ganga and standing there and eating the Chidadadhi. It became a big festival. And after the Raghunath Das Goswami had organized and he had organized this feast and he had satisfied all the Vaishnavas, Nityananda Prabhu also became very pleased with him. And he blessed him that very soon he would attain the shelter of the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And after this festival, after a few days' time, Raghunath Das Goswami got an opportunity to go to Jagannath Puri, and finally he got the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the moral of this whole story, of this whole incident, this pastime, when Raghunath Das Goswami was attempting to directly go and surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was being baffled in his attempts. So, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has composed a very nice verse which describes this pastime of Raghunath Das Goswami. Kripa gunairyaha kugrihanda kupat udritya bhangya Raghunatha dasam nyasya swarupe vidade antarangam tam Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhum namami. So, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is saying that Raghunath Das Goswami, Kugrihanda Kupat, he had fallen into the dark well of family life. Normally, in the material world, if somebody has got a beautiful wife, nice children, and has got a very good source of income, he is earning lakhs of rupees, we will say, oh, this man is very successful, and everybody will be aspiring, one day I should become like him. Now, if you look at Raghunath Das Goswami, he had all those things. He had a beautiful young wife, very loving parents. Money, there was no dearth. 12 lakh gold coins every year. How much will you spend? 12 lakh gold coins, can you imagine? Unimaginable. Even the richest man in the world today he will not be able to he will not be able to grasp how much amount of money 12 lakh gold coins every year means. That kind of wealth. So, Raghunath Das Goswami had everything. So, it is something which is very desirable. But Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Kugrihanda Kupat, Anda Kupa. Raghunath Das Goswami had fallen into the deep, dark well of family life. Why? Because to have a wonderful family, beautiful family, loving family, having a lot of money, good opulence, good house, all these kind of things may be good from a material perspective. But for a person who wants to progress spiritually, whose goal in life is liberation, he wants to get out of this cycle of birth, death, disease, and old age, for him family life becomes a bondage. Just like for Raghunath Das Goswami, he wanted to go and dedicate his life to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But his parents, his wife, all his servants, they were not willing to allow him to go. So practically he became entangled. So, Kugrihanda Kupat, Kripa Gunaihi. So if somebody has fallen into a deep, dark well, how can he be saved? He can be saved only if somebody drops him a rope and you catch on to the rope, and that person who is standing outside the well pulls you out of the well with that rope. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he saved Raghunath Das Goswami from that dark well of family life. How did he do that? Kripa Gunaihi, with the rope of his mercy. By the rope of his mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saved Raghunath Das Goswami. And Udritya Bhangya, by a trick, by playing a trick upon Raghunath Das Goswami, he managed to save him. And what trick he played upon Raghunath Das Goswami to save him, that's a different story, which if we are able to have the drama, then you will all be able to see. So, like this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saved saved Raghunath Das Goswami through Nityananda Prabhu manifesting his mercy. Directly when Raghunath Das Goswami wanted to surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it did not happen. Only when he surrendered, approached Nityananda Prabhu and prayed to him, pleased him, and prayed to him that please bless me with the shelter of the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Nityananda Prabhu blessed him, only then it happened. So by this pastime, what we understand is, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. We have to give up everything else and surrender exclusively to Krishna. But we cannot surrender to Krishna directly. That's not possible. So you have to surrender to the representative of Krishna. And by surrendering to the representative of Krishna and pleasing him by following his instructions, what happens? Krishna becomes pleased and he grants his shelter to us. So Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. When Krishna says this, what do we have to do? We have to search out a bona fide spiritual master, a guru, a Diksha Guru who is a bona fide representative of Krishna. We have to surrender unto him. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena seviya. We have to surrender unto him by taking initiation from him and follow all his instructions implicitly, and by pleasing him by following the instructions, Krishna becomes pleased and Krishna will grant his shelter to us. Without pleasing a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, without pleasing a bona fide representative of Krishna like Srila Prabhupada, it is not possible to achieve the shelter of Krishna directly. So this very refined principle in spiritual life was demonstrated by this pastime of Raghunath Das Goswami and Nityananda Prabhu in the Panihati Chidadadhi Mahotsav. So, today being that wonderful day of the Panihati Chidadadhi Mahotsav, we should all remember this pastime of Raghunath Das Goswami and Nityananda Prabhu, and we should seriously take shelter of the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, because he is the current Acharya, he is the current link, he is the current Diksha Guru for our Parampara, for our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. And how to take shelter of the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada? We have to take Diksha from him, and by taking Diksha from him, we are able to achieve the shelter of directly Lord Krishna himself. And how do we take initiation from Srila Prabhupada? Fundamentally, 4 principles we have to follow. The principles of no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, and we have to take a vow to chant every day without fail 16 malas of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. By this simple process of following the instructions of Prabhupada and making it a point to read Prabhupada's books every day and follow the instructions therein, we will be very easily able to attain the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. So let us remember the pastime of Raghunath Das Goswami and Nityananda Prabhu, which was carried out in Panihati 500 years ago, and let us learn this very important lesson in spiritual life from this pastime and seriously dedicate ourselves to following the instructions of the real Guru, the bona fide Acharya, the the current representative of the Sampradaya, which is His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Bolo Panihati Chidadadhi Mahotsav ki jai. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nityananda Ram Prabhu ki jai. Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari.